In the span of the last 10 years or so, meme culture has infected the political British zeitgeist.
Am I tough enough? Tough enough? Hell yes, I'm tough enough.
Go England! And while it was originally funny because we were the ones making the memes, it's now shifted to political parties trying to partake in the banter. So how did British politics go from this?
I think we do face a serious inflationary situation.
Because it helps us to understand what's happening today.
To this.
Hello chat. So today I had the brilliant idea of joining Rishi's Minecraft server while he was offline.
Yeah, I'm a coke addict. Total coke addict.
Politics is one big popularity contest with potentially dire consequences on either end of the spectrum, but at least back in the day it was somewhat about trying to portray that what they're doing is best for the citizens and building a better future for tomorrow. However, with the need to win over tech-savvy younger generations, the optics and marketing campaigns for political parties has completely changed. A moment in history where meme culture became a major influence in British politics was in 2014, when Labour's Ed Miliband and Conservatives' David Cameron went head-to-head in the polls. It was during this campaign that Ed Miliband got photographed awkwardly eating a bacon sandwich. The photo was used on a mocking front page of the Sun newspaper, then the UK's most widely read newspaper on the day before the 2015 election, with the headlines "Save our bacon" and "This is the pig's ear Ed made of a helpless sarnie." Naturally, this photo became a meme across the internet and perpetuated the portrayal of Ed Miliband being a bit of a dweeb, which was then further perpetuated when he was interviewed by Russell Brand and Jeremy Paxman.
But am I tough enough? Tough enough? Hell yes, I'm tough enough.
That's just totally wrong. It's just like wrong. This is wrong.
After David Cameron got re-elected as Prime Minister, later in September 2015, an anecdote was reported by former Conservative financial supporter Michael Ashcroft and political journalist Isabel Oakeshott in their unauthorised biography of David Cameron, titled "Call Me Dave." In their anecdote, they claim that during David's time at Oxford University, he put his dick and/or scrotum into a dead pig's mouth as part of an initiation ceremony for the Piers Gaveston Society. Downing Street sources responded to these allegations by saying that Cameron wouldn't dignify the anecdote with a response, while his friends and family reported him saying that it was utter nonsense. However, Piggate, as it's now referred to, became a massive stain on his name during his time as Prime Minister, making him a meme across his time in office, with a two-story effigy even being made of him. And it really didn't help that in the very first episode of the hugely popular British TV show Black Mirror, it showcased a storyline of a British Prime Minister being blackmailed into having sex with a pig. The whole thing made people draw parallels between reality and fiction. Charlie Brooker, the creator of the show, said, "Things like the David Cameron thing felt like that. That actually sent me a bit bonkers for a short period, because I thought, that can't be real. Surely that can't have happened. It's too eerily close." It makes you feel like you're living in a simulation. The years that followed after David Cameron could be argued as the peak comedy days of British politics, with Theresa May becoming a walking meme and arguably the most cartoon-like leader the country has ever seen, in Boris Johnson. If I tried to mention every big scandal between these years, this video would be hours long. But with the task of dealing with Brexit and COVID, it really began to seem like every day you'd wake up to a new level of memeing, because of how fucked the country is and was. From Nigel Farage and co.'s relentless campaign to get us out of Europe by putting big text on a big red bus, to everyone in Parliament hosting wild parties while us young people scratched our asses playing Warzone, all the while our nans died alone in hospital and our health secretary got his dick wet on taxpayers' time. It was relentless, but it really showcased how for most people, politics had just become depressing entertainment to laugh at because everything is being run so poorly. But if neither the Tories or Labour can save us, we can turn to an independent space warrior called Count Binface. From 2018 onwards, there has been an upward trajectory in satirical independent politicians purely down to utter frustration. Count Binface, a character portrayed by Jonathan Harvey, became a candidate for Uxbridge and South Ruslip in the 2019 general election against the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, which made for great viewing, as Boris had to compete against against Binface and other candidate Elmo. Although this galactic bin man would never actually win an election, Binface is standing in this election and also stood in the London mayoral election in 2021. He would be joined by YouTube pranksters Max Fosh and Niko Omilana, who would also run for mayor separately in that campaign. Which is mental, because Niko got 3% of the vote, which really showcased how the younger vote was about to get more and more important, and the power social media has in determining the optics and getting younger people to vote. In 2022, Boris Johnson left the job of Prime Minister, following a mass revolt by ministers over his leadership, sparked by scandals including Partygate, which meant the Conservatives had to hold a party leadership election to find their new leader, which resulted in Liz Truss defeating Rishi Sunak to become the new Prime Minister on the 6th of September 2022. However, it would turn out this whole kerfuffle would ultimately be quite a poor decision, as Liz Truss became the shortest serving Prime Minister of all time, lasting just 49 days in office. This was mainly because of the highly controversial mini-budget she introduced and the subsequent crisis occurring just weeks into her tenure, leading many people to believe her resignation was imminent. On the 14th of September 2022, the tabloid newspaper The Daily Star began a live stream of an iceberg lettuce next to a framed photo of Liz Truss. This was done in reference to an opinion piece in The Economist that compared the expected brevity of Truss's premiership to the shelf life of a head of lettuce. Just 6 days after the lettuce was put on livestream, Liz made her resignation as Prime Minister on the 20th of October 2022, way before the lettuce had time to rot. Naturally, this whole thing led to yet another Prime Minister suffering from the wrath of memes from its subjects. However, since Liz has been booted out and Rishi was introduced to Downing Street and now called an election, how and why have campaign tactics started shifting to political parties dunking memes on each other instead of memes being produced organically by the public? This change in parties trying to become self-aware and funny often lands flat on its face, as it mostly comes across as cringe and inauthentic. Not to mention, they're also literally joking about how shit they are at doing their jobs. Memes have become so important that you only have to look at these two headlines by the same publication exactly 10 years apart. From Ed Milliband awkwardly eating a bacon sarnie to having serious discussions about what party has the best TikTok game. So let's look at a few case studies in this election and how parties are trying to fight through memes. On the 2nd of June 2024, Rishi Sunak's team uploaded a video to Twitter captioned "Labour's Plan Explained."
Right, here we go again. Today I'm going to be doing an explainer on Labour's policy for our country's future.
2 hours after this video was posted, the Labour Party Twitter account responded by posting the exact same video, apart from the fact they used After Effects to rotoscope their policies onto Rishi's empty piece of paper, effectively making a meme. But if you ask me, both videos are incredibly cringe. Another example of Labour responding to Rishi Sunak is a video uploaded on the 20th of June 2024, in which they discuss how Rishi Sunak gained his incredible wealth by getting John Richardson to explain it sitting in a bath, spoofing on the film The Big Short, where they get Margot Robbie to explain economics in a bubble bath. But it's not just the Conservatives and Labour who are trying to win over the younger generations. The Lib Dems photobombed the Rishi Sunak interview by sailing behind him on a boat while holding up Lib Dem signs. However, it's Nigel Farage's Reform Party that have truly won the tide on TikTok. No other party is pulling in the kind of numbers that Reform are. The Reform Party and Nigel Farage accounts have over 200,000 and 800,000 followers respectively, whereas the Conservatives only have 70,000 and Labour 200,000, with neither leader of the parties being on the platform either. It's this lack of content in the TikTok world that is allowing Nigel to cut through with crazy TikTok edits and memes to the younger generation. Even if you weren't to lean that way, you can't deny that this approach has been effective for the party and made the other leaders look like robots in comparison. On the 11th of June 2024, Niko Omilana announced once again via his infamous troll videos that he would be entering into the race to become Prime Minister in Rishi Sunak's constituency and have the name Niko Omilana run in multiple places across the country.
Hello my friends, I've decided to run for Prime Minister and I'm going up against our current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak in the area of Richmond and plan to completely remove him from the political world. Rishi Sunak wants to send young people to war, so I've decided to declare war on the system. We will remove Rishi, and on top of this, we have done the impossible. We attempted to run Niko Omilana in multiple places across the country, and somehow we managed to make it happen. My aim is for Niko Omilana to get more votes than anyone else and declare myself Prime Minister. But before I confirm these places, I need everyone to register to vote. This country doesn't believe that young people have power, but together we do. The deadline is the 18th of June, and we all have to vote. In the coming weeks, I plan to show you that a man in children's glasses could do a better job than the horrific, abysmal people running the country right now. I hope you guys know how seriously I'm taking this. It's time to put this country in my safe hands. July 4th, make sure you vote for Niko. Rishi Sunak, you have no aura. It's time to go.
Some of Niko's policies from his manifesto include making sure Man City feel the full wrath of their 115 charges and banished out of the football pyramid, and making sure Sky TV will be made free for all struggling future prime ministers. The crazy thing is, YouTubers like Mr Beast and Niko probably will be the politicians of tomorrow. A lot of politicians of the past have come from an entertainment background, so why would YouTubers be any different? They have the time, clout, and most importantly the money to try and make a change. But let's not get carried away. For right now, these memes that these political parties are making in a desperate attempt to get the younger vote is just cringe and inauthentic, and it isn't the gotcha moment a lot of these parties seem to think it is. But also, let's not pretend it's going to change anytime soon. Everything these days has to be portrayed in a comical way to try and win the younger vote, without making any changes and actually doing something in real life to make young people actually want to vote for them. But at the same time, let's not act like our American cousins are any better either. Thank you so much for watching this video, it really does mean a lot to me. Make sure to follow me on all of my socials at Phat Mema, like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next.